So the Institute for Security Studies says targeted interventions are needed to reduce high levels of murder and armed robbery, which have risen for an 8th consecutive year. The ISS says while the murder rate more than halved between 1994 and 2012, the latest figures show that since then, murder has increased by 37%, with 5,771 more murders in 2019-2020 than in 2012. And aggravated robbery is up by 43%, with 43,221 more armed attacks in 2019-2020 than 8 years ago. Lizette Lancaster is a manager, Crime and Justice Information Hub at the Institute for Security Studies, and joins me now live via Skype to unpack the crime statistics. A very good evening to Lizette. Thanks indeed for your time. So, do you think these statistics can be relied on, given what the police commissioners also said, that these are preliminary, as some of these verifications through physical dockets were not finalized due to interruptions caused by COVID-19? Can we rely on them?
I think the bulk of them are very reliable in terms of the fact that we are talking here about hundreds of thousands of cases that are collated onto the system. We must remember how it is captured. If you open a docket at a police station, that docket is meant to be entered onto the electronic system. So it's a live system that then gets sent sort of up to national. So it's live all the time. What they mean by the verification is just that they go and do docket inspections to double check quality of these dockets translate into this electronic capturing. So what we've seen in the past, since they started looking at which cases are unfounded or not in retrospect, is that there are very small changes that are normally made. What we also, though, have to understand is that these are the cases recorded by the police. They are not that occur in the country, because we do have very reporting rates. For instance, we know murder is very well reported, but housebreaking to the victims of crime, so that 50% reported the police.
I'm really hoping our line will improve there, Lizette, but clearly more needs to be done in the fight against gender-based violence. Rape up by 1.7% and sexual assault by 4.2%. But how is it that you even have hotspots now, such as educational institutions, which have become hotspots for sexual violence?
I am wondering if it hasn't been a hotspot for years, but because the registrar is now taking a lot of care of understanding what dockets look like, where crimes occur, when they occur, and the modus operandi, we are starting to get this type or this level has been absent in previous years. The Crown Registrar has done a tremendous job in the past couple of years to give us more information about crime. And we are now seeing these type of figures, but most still happen in private residences. So I don't know if it's new as much as that it's now just, published.
While we've also seen a decrease, in your high-end crimes, if I can, cash and transit heists, bank robberies, there is an increase in carjackings. And I know in your statement, you raised concerns about whether police are adequately using their resources, because you say that these robberies are committed by a small network of people. Are they effectively using the resource at their disposal?
Well, we heard what the General said, that they have these teams now that are looking into carjacking. We have seen in the past, around 2010, 2011, successful projects, for instance, in Gauteng on armed robberies, specifically house robberies, yielding huge successes. And another example is the cash and transit incidents, where we've seen in this year a 10% reduction. So it means these partnerships and a focus on it with intelligence-driven operations and do yield success. So all these things point to the fact that if we actually spend a lot of police resources, intelligence, and such, doing the analysis. So not about more boots on the ground, but more about the analysis that needs to be done, that we can effectively reduce, especially the armed robberies, cause small repeat offenders. That goes to robberies, business robberies, and
Lizette, we'll have to leave it there. It doesn't seem like we have a great line tonight, but I'm glad we got gist of what you were saying. Lizette Lancaster, Manager, Crime and Justice Information Hub at the Institute for Security Studies.